So first of all, I'm going to design my book cover. And I'm going to break it down into information chunks. I want my title, to be that chunk, and then my image, my graphic, to be that chunk, and my name to be this chunk. I like that. And then my bird. I think I'm going to add the word journal down here. And I'm going to trace this onto my final paper with the light table. Okay, so my journal is designed and created. I could add a little bit more colors, but I think I'm going to leave that for the inside of my art journal. So now I'm ready to laminate this, which means I'm just going to make it a little bit more permanent, a little bit more sturdy. So first of all, I need to cover my work surface, and I'm going to use just a sheet of newsprint for that because it has plenty of outside edge. And then just regular Elmer's glue. Make sure it's open, pure flowing. And I also need a nice sturdy board. You could use wood, you could use cardboard, nice sturdy something. I'm going to put plenty of glue all over this. You need to work fairly quickly, especially if you're working in a warm or dry environment. This glue dries really quick. Start in the center and scrape outwards, all the way off the edge of your paper. This glue will dry clear and a little bit shiny. Okay, so now I'm going to take this completely off of the newsprint, otherwise it'll stick to it. I'm going to put it somewhere to dry. Okay, now I can start working on the inside pages of my book. I'm going to take this one off because this is going to, the first paper is going to end up being your end pages, which if you look at my finished one, you'll notice it's glued to the inside of the cover. So we want to make a set of 2 signatures. And a signature is a group of papers. So in our case, we're going to do 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Tamp them down together and fold them. Remember, you bring the corners together, hold it, and then crease from the middle of the paper out and give you a nice clean crisp fold. So now we have 2 signatures, and to bind them together, to clip them together to get it started, you want to open them up, and we're actually going to stack the 2 signatures for this first step. Then you get 2 binder clips and clip them at that crease. We're going to take our awl, which is a needle tool, and a nice soft cardboard box that we don't mind poking a hole into, right? So along this, we're going to count 6, we're going to punch 6 holes. They need to be fairly evenly spaced, so I'm going to go in about 1 inch. There's 1. I'm switching box tops because this one's a little bit more sturdy. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, excellent. Now unclip those and separate out your 2 signatures again. Okay, this one I'm going to just set to the side because this is the one that we're going to sew together first. So reclip those right there at that at the crease and flip it over upside down. Now you're going to take a good sized needle and your thread. And for this, we're going to use yarn because it's big and easy to work with. And I'm going to get about a 3-inch piece, maybe a little bit less. Just kind of going with my arm span. Thread that needle. And leave a little bit of a tail, but we're going to single thread this. It's not going to be a double thread. So just leave a little bit of a tail. Okay. Now we're going to start at the outside fold. So see how it folds in like that? We're going to start on the outside, not the inside of this signature. So the outside. Reach in, pull it about that far in. So you have about 6 inches. Now you're going to sew in and out. Make sure it doesn't get cut up on something. And always leave that, make sure you leave that 6-inch tail. You're not pulling it through when you're pulling your yarn taut, tight. Okay, now this is out, and look at all of that extra yarn. Don't do anything with that extra yarn. Grab your second signature, please. Have this one going on. And you're going to leave, no, it's this one. You're going to leave this one folded. You're going to unclip this. No, you don't need to leave that one folded. You're going to open that up and now fold your first signature. Okay. Make sure the holes get lined up. Okay, notice how the hole is lined up here. These holes are lined up. Okay. Now you're going to make sure your first signature is folded and your second signature is open. And then taking your binder clips again. Clip those together, okay? Again, on the other side, I'll show you. Signature number 1 is folded, signature number 2 is open, and you clip those together. Okay, now I'm flipping it back over so I see the outside fold, the mountain fold. Now, this thread is coming out of signature number 1. We want to sew it into signature number 2. So do you see that hole right there? Out of signature number 1 into signature number 2. I'm going to reach under, pull that through, and nice and tight. Now I'm going to weave in and out all the way down my fold for signature 2. Make sure these are, you're pulling them nice and tight here so that your book doesn't fall apart. Okay, the last one. Now notice this little tail string is coming out of signature 1, and now this is coming out of signature 2. I'm going to tie the 2 together in one knot really tight, a second knot really tight. I am not tying a bow. I'm going to cut the end off, unclip the binder clips, refold, and now you have 2 signatures sewn together. Okay, so to glue the cover to the book block, we're going to first tuck the little extra things in if we can. If there's little tails, we can tuck it in. Then we're going to put a ton of glue into the spine. This will bind it together even more and connect it to the book cover. Okay. And Raul, you are going to sadly lose this awesome drawing. I'm sorry. You can redraw it, okay? So using this, the tip, see how it's a cone? Do you see that that's a cone, Raul? We're going to use that as our spreading tool to put the glue nice and flat onto the end paper. Vikram, what is this paper called?
The end paper.
The end paper. Excellent listening. Thank you.
Spread it like this.
Yep, spread it like that, just like that. Perfect. And then we close it. Then I'm going to flip it over. Do the same thing to the back end paper. Spread it all around as smooth as you can. You could use another tool if you need to. Let me close it up. Get another sheet of something, and you press it as hard as you can together for at least 30 seconds. At least 30 seconds. Do you want to do that as hard as you can with a flat hand?